Okay, good deal. We're recording right now. Let me get this rocking and rolling. So Paul, Lisa, and I guess anybody else who will be watching this later, hope that you guys are having a great day, great evening. It's Friday here, so all good stuff. Just got some dialing in. What I wanted to do tonight, real quick, was to go over the Running with the Lions program and get it so you can get started here and rocking and rolling. For those of you who may be watching this, Dawn, I wanted to I'm going to post this to the group so that you can watch as well. Enjoy, and whoever else gets to watch this. But I want to talk about the Running with the Lions program and the training, and just run through what that actually means, and then make it so that you can get going and get to watching the videos or watching the training and then commenting on it as well. So the Running with the Lions program. That's a program that is led by Mr. Dean Mitzel. He's a gentleman that is a stud in the industry, has an amazing background. Anybody, he's like someone who shook Sinatra's hand, right? He's somebody who shared the stage with Jim Rohn. He's a guy that you want to learn from, and he's a guy that is in charge of the Running with the Lions program. He co-founded with Joe Severson, a gentleman who's also a stud in the industry. And this training, quite simply, is so that you can be effective dialing leads, plain and simple. I'm of the opinion, and it's a very strong opinion, that leads are an amazing way to build a big business and build it fast. But at the same time, you need some training, just like anything else, right? There needs to be a system. There needs to be training in order to rock and roll and be effective with calling leads. I know firsthand, trying to do it my own way and figuring it out didn't work, and I needed training. And Dean Mitzel has been an amazing mentor, and he continues to be so and help guide me and others on our team. So with that being said, I don't want to take up too much time. I want to go through this. If you look here, I clicked on the Running with the Lions page. So Paul and Lisa, this is going to be primarily targeted with you. If anybody else watches this after the fact, awesome. I'm sure it'll be, as people get added to our accountability group, they may see this. But Paul and Lisa, this is for you tonight. So you're on this group. You're like, okay, what do I do first? The meat and potatoes of this, apart from the coaching that you'll get from Dean and the mentorship that you'll get from Dean and being able to ping him, is this 10-day recruiting mastery. I want to really focus on this. So Paul and Lisa, I know that you have completed your intake form. And to those who are watching that may not know what that is, the intake form is quite simply a series of questions that Dean Mitzel uses to understand you and your business, right? He can't help you if he doesn't know where you're at, what level you're coming in at, your goals, what you're looking to accomplish. The intake form allows him to do that so he can be an effective mentor. So awesome there. That's a great checkbox right out of the gate, knowing that the person who's going to be your mentor actually wants some info on you first, right? The 10-day recruiting mastery, I'll call this the link, as my thing comes up here, the link to the best training that you'll get located in a Word document. This, if you or whoever is watching this right now, but Paul and Lisa, I truly believe, I know that if you learn and take to heart and master the steps, the information that is shared in this 10-day training, you'll be unstoppable inviting leads, plain and simple, hands down, period. If you master this training, it's all you'll need. So it's pretty simple. It's very straightforward. And one, it's about providing you the right knowledge, but it's also about accountability, right? So you're actually taking it to heart. You're taking notes and you're thinking about, one, what you've learned and then the action that you're going to take. So with that being said, if you look here, right at the top, you'll say audio link is on the post where you'll comment your biggest nugget and what you will commit to. So it's straightforward. When you click on there, you're just going to go straight down through the list and click on each day, as you go and start. So, and I would always say this, don't try to cram more than one in a day, right? Look to focus on mastery rather than information overload. So let's click on this first one. This is day one, and I'll just right click and do open a new tab for convenience here. And when this comes up, forgive the slow farm internet, but what you'll see is a post on the Running with Lions coaching program, okay? And this post will have on it a couple links. Now, they don't always have a couple links. In this case, the first one does, right? So you'll have a link to the recording. You'll click on that, and you'll be able to download it if you want, okay? But then in this case, you'll also have a little nugget from Joe Severson, one of the the creators of this training. So for day one, click on this, watch it or listen to it first, and then click on the Vimeo and watch that as well. And then what you're going to go do is scroll on down and drop a comment, okay? And in this case, okay, sorry. Barry, you're going to be watching this and you're chatting me up right now, so good deal. But you'll see here, there are people that here that have left some recent nuggets. Your son, for example, was one of the last of the crew to leave a nugget. But here's, for example, here was my comment. I said, a lot of great nuggets. There were actually two equally important takeaways for me. The first takeaway is something that I have to remind myself every day, and that's to have fun. If you're not having fun, your prospects will sense that, and why would they want to join you? And there's a lot going in on that, but I posted my thoughts, and that's what you'll do as well. Okay, what was your takeaway, and then what are you committing to doing as a result of watching or listening to that training? Now, this training in and of itself, and we'll go back here, every single one of these trainings for the most part are audio. They will have some visual aids, for example, bubble maps, which are prettier PowerPoints is the best way to put it. But go through each one and just watch, rinse, repeat what I just showed you. Click on the link, watch the training, download it, right? So you have that audio to go back to so you can listen to it again and again, right? This is something that you should be listening to regularly and not just once and forget about it, because once again, these 10 days, if you had access to nothing else than these 10-day trainings, you'd be good to go, right? Mastering and focusing on this is what you need to do. So with you, especially if you or anyone else who is in the 1 month, we'll say try before you buy mentoring program with Mr. Dean Mitzel, you have a month, right? So 10 days, is obviously very doable, for anybody. You should be focusing on personal growth and development in your business every single day. So I would say commit to doing one of these a day, and then wash, rinse, repeating before your month is over. So the clock is ticking. Have a sense of urgency. Get this done because it's going to make an impact in your business. I know it has mine for sure. So no need to spend any more time on that. Get that knocked out. In addition to that, there are a ton of great files and content in the Running with the Lions coaching program. So check that out as well. Everything here. I mean, if we look on everything from live dials to spreadsheets on everything, pretty much. I don't need to go through all this. There's just a ton of value in this. Cold market 3-foot approach, right? That doesn't even have anything to do with leads. Self-image exercise, all kinds of good stuff in here. Download them, take advantage of it. Awesome. But at the end of the day, make sure that you have some action there and get running with that right away. Okay, enough with that. In addition to the Running with the Lions program, after you're going through this, one thing that I would encourage as well, as you're learning and as you're having questions and things like that, two things. One, every day commit to dialing, okay, because you need to be able to practice what you're learning, right? If you're not implementing and not committing to memory, it's not going to do any good. To put it in our own team's terms, Robert Faison always talks about Michael Jordan and competing against Michael Jordan with a classroom full of kids that he's talking about basketball with, and then competing against, we'll say a group of kids that are with a high school gym coach who's actually having them dribble the ball 1,000 times a day and shooting the ball 1,000 times a day. At the end of 30 days, who do you think will be better at a basketball game? It'll be the kids that are actually dribbling and practicing shooting. Those who are just learning philosophy and the how-tos in a classroom, they're going to be dribbling the ball in their foot. The same goes with prospecting. If you're not actively out there and learning in a live environment and instead just learn all day long, you're not going to get any better, plain and simple. So there has to be action, has to be activity, in addition to implementing to what you're learning. And what I would say, throughout this all, you're going to have questions, ping Dean, through Facebook Messenger, but then also, for your mentoring call, make sure that you get value out of that, right? Have questions, have substance around it. This is your business, right? You're going to have a period of time with a gentleman who knows how to build, a 6 and 7 figure business, right? You want to take advantage of that and not just go into it, with no agenda, right? So attack that, right? If you were sitting down with Jim Rohn and just saying, hey, I just want to shoot the breeze with you, you wouldn't get a lot of value out of that when he was around. But if you're like, man, Mr. Jim Rohn, let's really peel back on X, Y, Z, whatever it is, that you want to get out of them, right? You'd have some kind of direction and he'd be able to reciprocate and add value based upon what you're asking. So I would take that serious as well, your mentor call with Dean, and, have an agenda going into that. Okay, next up, real quick, Dean will be able to give you a login. Then after you finish the 10-day mastery, finishing the 10-day mastery is a prerequisite, but he'll be able to give you a login to the Prospecting Elite. Let me find this here real quick. Hopefully okay, let's see here. There it is right there. Okay. Now this is an insane site, amazing site, but you have to complete the 10-day mastery first. And once again, this is icing, but you'll have videos across the board from module training that kind of hit on what you'll learn through the 10-day mastery. But in just a video format, you get to see Joe Severson, for example, you get to see Dean Mitchell, all that good stuff. But across the board, they have a lot of great content in here as well. And I've been through pretty much all of it at this point. But I got a lot of great value out of the skill set training, but even the tools as well. The tools actually, have little great hidden gems in them, like creating online videos and video emails 101. I started actually sending my prospects video emails, for 5s and 8s. And it was because of Joe Severson that, I started getting microphones, and I actually have additional webcams that I use for those videos. But all right, sorry about that. As I did that, I knocked out my microphone, but all good. Just wanted to talk about that. This site, amazing. We'll get you a login, but first go through the 10-day mastery. Last but not least, well, actually, real quick. So you're like, okay, I'm watching this. I don't know what to do as far as to get started. If I'm not, Paul and Lisa Sterrett, what do I do? Awesome. Ping Dean Mitchell. Say, Dean, hey, or ping me, right? I'll be able to, to point you in the right direction as well. But, ping Dean Mitchell. He's in our accountability group. Hit him up on Facebook Messenger and say, man, I want some coaching from the best, right? I want someone who's been there, done that. How do I get coached by you? What are my options? Hit him up. He'll be able to not only put you in touch with the Running with the Lions program, but Dean does live webinars every single week where he just delivers free value that people would pay thousands and thousands of dollars for. He does it for free every single week, Tuesdays, Thursdays. I highly recommend that as well. Get on that. So real quick, Paul and Lisa, I know that you had a chance to check out Cytalink, but I wanted to use this time to drop this here as well. I am of the opinion for this, as I am with leads, that if you have Cytalink, if you're not using Cytalink for your business, you're doing yourself a disservice and your business a disservice, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to track the data that you need to be able to track in order to understand where you need to correct in your business. As with, when I was able to sit on the board with, a successful small company, right? And it was all about data, right? If we didn't have numbers, if the data didn't exist, we couldn't make good decisions. And the same for this. So Cytalink, what is it for those of you who don't know what Cytalink is? It's a web dialing software, but so much more. It's a CRM that allows you to customer relationship manager software that allows you to track and manage your business, dial effectively. There's so much more that I can go into, but at a high level, you can place in all of your prospects, all of your team members, call them directly through the software that actually links through your cell phone, but it's able to track and record all of your activity, all of your notes. You can create campaigns for not just dialing prospects, but dialing your team members, all that good stuff. In addition to, if you want a three-way in, you want to help your team members, whether it be with follow-up calls, with first base, second base, third base calls, everything, welcome to the team calls, everything can be done in here. In addition to calling your prospects in a seamless and efficient fashion. Where you may spend a whole night trying to dial 20 prospects, you're able to get 20 prospects in this case in maybe 20 minutes or less. You can email your prospects, set all of your appointments, manage all of your appointments, run all of your activity. And this is one that's huge. And here's why. Because a lot of us, without something to track our accountability, we can feel like we did a lot of work. And a lot of that probably was busy work and not actually, income producing activities. What this software allows you to do, quite simply, is to track your income producing activities. So in this case, for tonight, it's 4/6, and it's 9:29 at night, or let's just say 9:30. Doesn't matter because I know I didn't dial here for the last 30 minutes or what have you. But for tonight, I was able to run my activity for tonight, and hey, it said I made 63 calls. Congratulations, I had 21 connections. Look at the dialing time: 27 minutes, 30 seconds. Not a lot of time. So for those of you who have a busy schedule, say, hey, I don't have time for dialing every night. Would you say that you had 30 minutes that you can devote every night and still reach out to 63 people? Absolutely, everybody does. So this is for everybody, but the most important thing is you're going to be able to track your activity. And if your profitability is not where you want it to be, this is a great place to start. Is your activity there? If it's not, well, then there's your problem, right? And that's probably where your issue lies. But this allows you to see that and track it, and when you set goals, to be able to see where you're meeting them at. So, Paul, Lisa, I want to make once again a pitch for this software again, and if you're ready to get set up with it, we'll get you set up, because it's something that will be a game changer for your business. It's so simple. You log in. If you want to import your contacts, you simply just click on import. You have your file. You click on browse to wherever your file's at, and then you just import your leads. As you can see here, I have my leads in one folder. Awesome. Click browse, and you can create a new campaign, or you can use an existing campaign. You just click next, and they get imported, and then you just go over to campaign setup. Just one click on a radio button of the campaign that you created that you want to dial. You can choose what time zone that you want to dial with, and you can even call 2 people at a time. How long do you actually want to dial them? Leave a message or not, all that good stuff. It's so easy. And then you click dial, and then it goes through and dials them. So that's all I had. Spent probably too much time already, but I wanted to be able to walk you through the Running with the Lions program. Once again, you're going to go over, click on Running with the Lions group. The first post right out of the gate is going to be what you're looking for, the 10-day recruiting mastery. That's going to open up a document. It'll have all the links to all the recordings that you want to be able to go through. And each day, remember, as you listen to them, your next step is to post in the group, right? That's a part of accountability. And, it helps, right? It helps if we have to be accountable to someone to get our butts in motion. I know it helps for me, and, it helps for a lot of other people as well. So I hope you got value out of this. If you have questions, text me. I'm here. Love you guys. And thank you very much.